Al Horford. James Ennis also re-signing with the team. And in a recent interview with the Philly Inquirer, Ennis said the Sixers, quote, are going to walk to the finals in the East. Bold statement right there. Ryan, what do you think will stop the Sixers from rolling through the East?
That's a really bold statement right there. James, that's my guy right there. But in all reality, if I had to say what's going to stop them, hold them back from getting through the East, it's Ben Simmons. So much is given, much is expected. This is a guy with the talent level and skill set that we can compare only to Magic Johnson and LeBron James. His skill set, we compare to Magic Johnson and LeBron James. A guy who's 6'9", who can run, jump, natural court vision. The only thing that he doesn't have and he doesn't do well is shoot the basketball. And I'm not just talking about three-pointers, because I believe there are more ways to be efficient than just living and dying with a three. If it's not you, it's not you, bro. But this guy has to find a way to be able to get his shot off the bounce. Why? The deeper that you go in the playoffs, if you're Philadelphia, you don't have Jimmy Butler anymore, okay? You don't have J.J. Redick, who is a guy who they play a two-man game between Embiid and Redick to close out games. Now you're relying heavily upon Ben Simmons to go out and get the job done. So with his talent level, he could put Philadelphia over the top. But if history proves, as shown, there wasn't much improvement from year one to year two. The man didn't even attempt a three-pointer, or what he shot a half of a three-pointer, a hoist at the end of the shot clock. So nonetheless, the biggest person in the way of the 76ers' success is still Ben Simmons.
The reason that the Sixers won't run through the East is the Milwaukee Bucks. More specifically, it's Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's going to get better. The team's going to be better, even without Malcolm Brogdon, who I think is extremely underrated. Extremely underrated. The Bucks are still going to be a real force to be reckoned with in the East, and that's the reason the Sixers won't run through the East. But before I tell you exactly what they have to deal with in Milwaukee, I want to take on your Ben Simmons argument for a second. Listen, we play a lot. I tell you when you're wrong, but I also know you know your basketball, all right? You come on the Will Cain show, we talk about this, and you've been saying to me specifically for a long time, Will, you need to tap the brakes on Ben Simmons. You have told me he doesn't have a shot, and it's a major concern. You've also made the same argument for Giannis. So I want to tie these together. First, do you think Ben Simmons can ever get a shot? At this point, is it developable?
Here's the reality.
Can it be developed?
Ben Simmons works on his game. He's in the lab shooting jump shots. The problem is he gets on the floor, and I've heard from several teammates, several people in the front office, that he's reluctant to shoot. And when you're a guy who plays a number of minutes, a bulk of minutes, for you not to shoot the basketball, it's a problem. He's got the green light to play ball, and he's not.
But what I'm wondering is
why is he reluctant?
Confidence. He's just got. I mean, LeBron James he would shoot brick after brick early in his career. He'd miss five, he'd make one, he'd make two, but he took the shots. Ben Simmons, what
I'm wondering is, and again, I'm respectfully deferring to you on this. Can you develop this skill at some point in the game? I've seen guys, Ryan, go from 32% to 39% from three. I've seen guys do that kind of thing. I haven't seen somebody that I can think of off the top of my head who has gone from as bad as Ben Simmons is at shooting to being even a respectable shooter.
But if it has to do with confidence, then you can develop confidence, right?
I'll give you something comparable. Guy like Magic Johnson may not have been the greatest shooter, but if you put the game on the line, Magic Johnson will hit any shot that you need to win the basketball game. I played alongside with Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd developed his three-point shot. Jason Kidd would go certain games with he'd have
that's true.
10
or
12 assists, 0 points. We need a big bucket. Jason Kidd would
That's
step
a good
up and hit
example.
the bucket.
But we have to say, Kidd was never as bad as Simmons is at shooting. Kidd had more of a shot than Simmons does right now.
It doesn't look as bad, but he doesn't try, Will.
Okay,
That's
I got
the biggest grief. He doesn't try.
Now, one more question, okay? I have been intrigued by this idea about Ben Simmons. I think Max Kellerman has talked about it as well. I don't know that Ben Simmons' long-term future is in Philadelphia next to Joel Embiid. I am intrigued by the idea of Ben Simmons in a Giannis Antetokounmpo type situation where he can handle the ball, drive to the basket, and dish to shooters who are surrounding him. Guys who can hit the three. Let him drive the engine. Don't worry about whether or not he can pull up for that three. Cut open the defense. Either score it or kick it out. I wonder what Ben Simmons' ceiling looks like in an offense like that instead of the one he's in Philadelphia. And I don't know that you can answer that, but that's my Ben Simmons thought process.
Answer.
Okay, go ahead.
Because here's the reality. Ben Simmons plays best, as he has, when he plays with the second unit big fella Joel Embiid is off the floor
right,
because he can step out and shoot the three, but he's even told you, I'd rather be in the paint eating, making plays, making things happen. And when you get deeper in the playoffs, you don't have the luxury of sitting both of your stars out. You need these guys to be able to work. And in case of Milwaukee, that was an excellent point, Will. But Coach Bud has put shooters around Giannis. And if there is a guy who was iffy on shooting the three, he said, you got the green light. Go work on your three-point shot. When you get the ball, you take the three. And obviously, Ben would be 10 times better in a system like that. But in reality, if you're Philadelphia...
Hey, by the way, I know you just threw out a number, but 10... No, I'm not making fun of you. 10 times...
10 times better.
If it's not 10, if he's twice as good, if he's a
good.
third as good, that's what I'm intrigued by.
And
until then, until either he's in a different system or he develops his jump shot, as you point out, the problem for the Sixers will be the guy who can run that system the way it's meant to be run, and that is Giannis. And by the way, I have more expectation, more hope that Giannis can develop the shot that is eluding Ben Simmons. He's got more of a baseline. He shoots it more and makes it more already than where Ben ever was. So Giannis is the roadblock in the East. The Bucks are the roadblock in the East. That's why they don't run through.
You know what the big fear is for any basketball player? To go out and fail at something, to not be good. When you watch Giannis play, the one thing Giannis will do is he'll go airball. I've seen Giannis pull up for a jumper and airball consecutively. But you know what he does?
Doesn't stop.
He continues to take it. He's not reluctant. He's not going to get shy. If you're Ben Simmons, and I want to send a message to Ben, you hear me, get in the game and take your jump shots. There's no other way that your team is going to have the level of success that's expected. The reason that Jimmy Butler came along and was brought onto the team is to take the ball out of your hands. You are too talented. You're Ben Simmons. He's got to do that. Well, there's no way around it, or he's going to be moved. Either he does it in Philadelphia, or he's going to be shopped and moved, or Embiid will be shopped and moved. And the problem is, if you shop Ben and move him, Embiid may not be healthy for years to come.
That's right.
So you got to do it now.
And by the way, it's not just going to be the Bucks and Giannis. I don't believe we can ignore the Celtics. I think we both agree that Kemba is a better fit in Boston than Kyrie.
Yep.
We have to see how Al Horford fits next to Joel Embiid.
Yep.
And there is a team that I believe has been building the right way, who gives hope to small markets, that shows you when you lose a disgruntled star, you can still rebuild and be a contender.
Toronto.
The Pacers.
Thank you. I was waiting for you to say that. I was just about to say the Pacers.
They lost
I like the Pacers. I think I like the Raptors third.
What I'm telling you is the Pacers and the Jazz are showing the NBA just because a big-time superstar doesn't want to play for you, doesn't take you out of contention. The Jazz lose Gordon Hayward and reboot with Mitchell and a well-rounded team. The Pacers lose Paul George. They've rebooted with Oladipo and now Brogdon and a good team.
Can you repeat that statement to Knicks? Could you tell Dylan that, your exact statement?
You know who's about to learn that lesson?
Who?
The Thunder. Look at the assets.
Oh, the Thunder are going to be all right.
All right, right before we wrap up this discussion, here's something that might blow your mind on the topic of Ben Simmons. Simmons didn't attempt a single field goal outside of the paint against the Raptors these past playoffs. Only one of his 116 postseason shots came from outside the paint. He has yet to make a three-pointer in his NBA career, going 0 for 17. So any improvement is good improvement in his case.
Take it.
All right, coming up on First Take, Kawhi Leonard signed a 3-year deal with the Clips, but are shorter deals good or bad for the league? That debate coming up next on First Take.